Robin, set up this game for us. Top of the table clash, India versus South Africa. What are the areas that we need to focus on?
Well, I think the next game is going to be a very exciting one between India and South Africa. I think the fact that both teams are playing some exceptional cricket, some very high quality cricket. The batters are batting exceptionally well. The bowlers are bowling exceptionally well, and the fielding has been top class from both sides. So I do see it as a crucial game for both teams. I think they will take a lot of confidence, and I think they will meet again at some point in the tournament. So it's going to be an exciting game that everyone's going to be keenly watching.
Saibhai, the same question to you. What do you think are the challenges that will be posed by the South African team? How do you overall assess a team that has been on a high, barring that one loss that they had versus Netherlands? Overall, India's challenge against South Africa.
Well, it's going to be a different challenge than the previous time when the two table toppers met, which was India against New Zealand a couple of weeks ago. That time, India completely swamped New Zealand. But this one will be a little more difficult. This one will be tougher because South Africa has got an all-round side just like India has. They've got batters who are in very good form, perhaps in better form than some of the Indian batters. And they've also got a terrific new ball attack and a spinner, Keshav Maharaj, who generally tends to be underestimated but does pick wickets regularly.
Okay, let's focus on the personnel now from both the teams. Robin, to you. Let's take a look at what would be those challenges for the South African team when they come up against an Indian juggernaut that haven't lost a game so far. What would be the areas that the South African team on the eve of the game would be talking about?
I think the biggest threat for South Africa will be the Indian pace trio. I think they are going to be more than a handful. And it's going to be a great contest to watch and experience because I think the batters in South Africa are also batting exceptionally well, and the Indian bowlers are bowling so good. So it'll be a great contest to watch. But I think it will be the Indian bowlers versus the Protea batters.
Okay, that was, the areas that South Africa would be wary of when they come up against the Indian team. I'm going to reverse that question to you, Saibhai. One of the threats, for the Indian team is going to be Quinton de Kock, the man in form. He's getting hundreds after hundreds. How does the Indian team ensure that he doesn't give his team a good start? Because every time he's done that, South Africa have looked very dangerous.
Well, I think it's over here that somebody like Bumrah can be the one to take the early blow because he can angle the ball across. De Kock does have the ability, does have the tendency to play on the up sometimes. And keep two slip fielders if possible at the start because that is going to give you the opportunity to snare him. Otherwise, he tends to play a lot of deliveries on the onside, tends to hook the ball or hook and pull the ball upishly towards square leg area. Those are the areas that you would like to, see India attacking him.
Okay, a closer look at the conditions. We heard, from our correspondent Rahul earlier that he's seen the pitch. Seems like a batting paradise, lots of runs. Keeping that in mind, Robin, and the matches that we've seen at the Eden Gardens so far, looking at those conditions, which team do you think it favors more?
Well, I think it'll favor both teams simply because I think it's going to be a wicket that actually swings and steams a little bit. At the same time, it's got a lightning fast outfield, and for batters who bat well against steam bowling, they will end up scoring runs there. So you need to be able to see off the new ball. Once you see off the new ball, there are a lot of runs to be made at the Eden Gardens.
Lots of runs. So expect run fest when the two teams play also because the batting of both teams is doing very well. Saibhai, one thing that we've seen and the Achilles heels for South Africa has been on occasions that they've been asked to chase. Do you think that is something that the Indian team will keep that in mind? That no matter the conditions, no matter what's good for the Indian team to do, it's better than to ensure you bat first so that South Africa chase because we've seen that they've been a bit unstable while chasing.
I don't think to the Indian team it makes any difference. Looking at the way they have chased, looking at the way they've defended small totals, I don't think it makes any difference to the Indian team. I don't think toss should be something that should be worrying them. But ideally, because they are such good chasers, they should look to be chasing.
Okay, fair point. As Mr. Gavaskar is saying, India is doing so well. I don't think they're going to be thinking that much. But Robin, what do you reckon? We've seen those 2 games that South Africa were chasing. And in fact, the captain has come out and said that, they don't know what the template should be while chasing. With all this information in your hand, wouldn't then, as an opposition captain, you ensure that you bat first?
I would I would go on a limb and say you always want to bat second at the Eden Gardens because dew does play a factor. And when dew comes on there, it's very hard to stop runs, especially after the new balls bowled out.